Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Puppets in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is cracking? This the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And that is exactly what we intend to do. Is once again, it's been just another great week of content here at In Your House. We had a big download spike just about a couple of nights ago. So that was absolutely great. And it's all about the consistency, all about the continued work that we are doing to bring you guys the best possible content that we can. And it's crazy to think, because I was just at a merge just a couple weeks ago, and sometimes it's not tangible to see what we're doing. You know, you just look at numbers, and sometimes you get we get awesome people that come and join us here in the chat and come and talk to us and whatnot. But sometimes it's not always tangible. But it's always awesome when I get a chance to be out doing a show or something, and somebody says, "Hey, I've been listening to the podcast. It's really cool. It really gets me through my drive to work," or I listen to it while I'm working because I use my hands a lot, so I just listen. And it's crazy, the traction that we've been getting all these years. So we truly appreciate you guys. And with that being said, guys, it is Sunday, and you know what that means. That means that it is time for a Sunday house party. That's right. It's Sunday fun day, and man, we got a lot of things to talk about, because not only have we been talking wrestling, because there's awesome stuff to talk about, and we're definitely going to talk about it. SmackDown just happened, and that that was a vibe, and a lot of we're getting really storyline driven, and I'm really digging that, and we're definitely going to talk about that. But man, of course, I got to bring in one of my co-hosts here, as we're going to be talking about it. And man, this guy is not happy. I know he's not happy at all, because if you guys follow baseball, I try to follow baseball. I'm a fan of the sport and have been for many years. And it's sometimes it gets away from you, but because there's so many games in the season. But man, it's going down. Yankees moved on. My man is a Guardians fan. It stinks for him, man. It stinks for him, because I know him and P are feeling that same sting right now, being Cleveland fans. Of course, that's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, man? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling like I got kicked in the balls all over again with that introduction. That's how I'm feeling. Soto, I hate you. I don't like you.
What, Soto, bro?
You make me so angry. But besides that, my friends, your friends, Grun's friends, household, how are you doing? It's a Sunday house party, and the voice is here back on another IYH installment of that house party that I spoke of. How are you doing, chat? What's going on? Let's hear what you got to say this Sunday.
Absolutely. What are you guys thinking? We got awesome things to talk about, but it's Sunday and we're just vibing. Here in a little bit, we will be joined by our producer of the show. Of course, that is Hypocrisy Jones. This is kind of the thing. So last time we was here with him, he was playing video games, he was texting on the phone, and now he's late. And now he's late.
We get some traction on some charts, and he turns into a classic diva.
I know, right?
we operate around Jones's time.
He is becoming the Dennis Rodman of In Your House, bro.
I love it too. I can't wait to work with that worm again.
Oh, that's awesome. So he's going to be here in a little bit. But man, we got a lot of sports going down tonight. We didn't have any PLEs or anything like that. Of course, we know we have Crown Jewel that's going to be coming up. But man, a lot of sports going down tonight, and I see that the Dodgers have a chance to put away the New York Mets. Which sometimes it's always crazy that the Mets come this far. Like what? Like I haven't really been paying attention to the season, so I'm not sure how well they've been doing. But the fact that there's a chance that we could see an all New York World Series is absolutely disgusting.
It is. It really is.
Those damn New Yorkers, those damn big city New Yorkers.
Yeah. Hey, well, would they have to miss a day for travel time? I mean, it's all right there.
Yeah, I know, right? Like they're on air.
So they could run it 7 days in a row. We could have the World Series if it goes 7.
Man, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on here, bro? Because like when I think about it, so let me throw this at you, okay? So we're talking about the possibility of an all New York World Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's pivot real quick to the WNBA Finals going down tonight. The Minnesota Lynx going up against the New York Liberty. Tonight is their game 5, which is their for men's NBA, like the National Basketball Association. It's game 7. You understand? Like it's only best of 5.
Okay. Oh, they only do best of 5.
Yes. So tonight is like their huge winner goes on, loser goes home. It's done. Like it's a big pivotal, huge, like, and it's been a really good finals. It's been a really good finals. Like. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I've been kind of back in the New York Liberty just because they got a couple of players there that I really like Sab and Stewie. Stewart, Brianna Stewart. Yeah, that's her name. And like they're real cool. I don't really know much on the Minnesota Lynx. I know they won their Commissioner's Cup earlier in the year, which is like the NBA Cup that's going down that they're doing now, and the Lakers won the last one. You know what I'm saying? Like
Japanese to me. This cup. There's a cup. Yeah, I know.
I thought you was. Okay. I was gonna say. I know
what
you're
talking
a big
about. I just
follower.
don't agree with the cup. Yeah, that's my thing.
I know. We could definitely get into that. But like, so New York Liberty involved in the WNBA finals, and then let's pivot to the NBA. The freaking New York Knicks with Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson, and freaking Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart.
Dude, they're so scary.
What is going on?
Dude, they were scary last year.
I know.
Won last year.
They could have beat us. They just got injured as hell.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby.
But with getting Towns, making that move.
Like, what the hell? Because he's a way improved version of what Julius Randle can do for you.
Yes. And you got more years with him.
Got more years. He's got deeper playoff experience. He's got playoff scars. Like, what the fuck? New York can seriously, like, they can be not just back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, they can possibly push themselves to the finals. And it's fucking crazy that I'm saying that, bro. What is happening?
Not only push themselves to the finals, I believe that they have set themselves up to win a championship this year. If they stay healthy and they gelled like they did last year, adding these little pieces that they did, they have set themselves up for a possibility of a championship. And imagine all the championships that can be won in New York this year alone. If they win,
it's blowing me away.
Dude, it would be New York would be the sports capital of next year. It's so much that I think the Giants are thinking about digging deep in the pocket and getting Eli Manning back because he won them
Yeah,
a
it might be
couple.
time to bring him back.
Like, what is going on in New York?
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
amazing.
Okay.
It's a really cool thing to see happen in our era
It is.
of sports.
It is. I just looked up both the Jets and the Giants records. It ain't looking too hot right there for either one of them. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Buffalo have to be the great white hope? What are they doing? I don't even know if
Buffalo's
Buffalo's
dangerous. They're dangerous.
Are they? Okay, they're 4-2. I see it. All right, I guess they're gonna have to be the great hope of New York then. Like, it's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of good things going on. But it's like we was talking about a little bit before we went on the air, because on the flip side of the possibility that we could see an all New York World Series, we could possibly see the return of the West Coast, East Coast beef between Los Angeles and New York. It's another possibility, especially if they win tonight, they close it out, and then they move on to the World Series against the Yankees, which would be high profile. I mean, strong. I mean, honestly, I think MLB has put themselves in a good position, especially if the Dodgers win, that this could be possibly like the most viewed World Series in a very, very long time. Two of the big markets with huge top stars, like, this is gonna be the one, and I think that it could be one for the absolute ages. I know that, like, I'm guilty of what is it, 182 games? Like, it's
insane amount.
It's an insane amount of games. So I'm guilty. Like, I don't really watch much of baseball throughout the regular season. But man, when it's hot and heavy like it's getting right now, and get a chance to the storylines of the East Coast, West Coast beef, Ohtani going to a World Series, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, your hated rival, Juan Soto. It's just, there's so many things moving. This could be a huge World Series, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, me too, man. And I'm just like thinking back to when we were kids. Imagine if we had Tupac and Biggie with us today.
Oh my God!
And both of them.
Could you imagine?
Oh, dude, it would be
being in
so
the fucking stands, bro.
Dude, yes, exactly.
Oh my God, Yankee Stadium, Biggie with the fucking Yankees holding it down, bro. Like, are you kidding me?
Dude, it would be amazing. And even on the other side, going over there, hitting up Dodger Stadium and seeing Tupac stand up with him and his
beautiful Dodger Stadium.
Dude, it would be epic. But I really like what the possibilities we have. We have possibly the shortest travel time in a World Series, or the longest travel time. So we have both sides of the spectrum there, which is fantastic. I mean, this is baseball today. This playoffs has been spectacular. I've been watching a lot of games, especially we have to call them the Guardians, but they are the Indians. That's why I love them. Kenny Lofton, you're a god. Bro. If you ever see this, please hit me up. I have so many questions. I idolized you. I wore your number. And anything you did, when you changed your batting stance, I changed my batting stance. Dude, you are the ultimate player to me. I love you, Kenny Lofton. Please give this to, if anybody knows him, please put this in his way. But yes, that I think baseball today, with the big hitters we have, yes, Soto, I can't stand you. Aaron Judge, you're a big old jerk. We have Ohtani cranking them out. Like, what the hell? What are we doing in life to where this is not like on every kid's mind during the summer? What is happening in baseball? Because it's a fantastic league in this era.
You're paying attention and you're seeing it, it's just like, and I understand, like, baseball has had this thought about it, that it's slow, it's boring and stuff, but like, I myself
sped that shit up.
Yeah, and that's what needed to happen, and that's great. But also at the same time, I like the very much one-on-one vibe of baseball. Like, I know that you're not running up and down the court like you're doing in basketball. Basketball is very engaging, in that way, where there's always something happening and they're always moving. Even in football, they have to stop for downs and whatnot, and sometimes that can, that can drag on a little bit. But here's the thing baseball and football is, yeah, they might have like their like downs where it's like, oh, you're only getting like 2 or 3 yards or something like that, and it's not exciting, and it's like, oh, it's just a little, slant row here, right there in the middle for like 5 yards. It's not exciting, but like,
Mm-hmm.
and then, a base hit, it gets past the shortstop and boom, it's a single. Not exciting, but he got on base, so it's a positive for the team, like, but then all of a sudden you have like a fucking 70-yard pass for a touchdown or a huge interception or something like that, or somebody just fucking belts it out of the stadium with a home run or an exciting double play or a slide at home plate to try to get this guy out. It's 5-5 at the bottom of the ninth. He's running for third. He got to throw it from all the way outfield. It's coming into home. Is he going to catch it? Can he get? Oh, he caught it. He's going to get him in enough time. And it's like the excitement. Like when it's exciting, It's extremely exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I do. Because here's a little fun fact. So Friday night, the Guardians played New York, and there was a first to happen. On the Guardians team, we have the Naylor brothers. You have Josh and Bo Naylor. Both of them recorded a hit in the playoffs for the first time. For anybody in the MLB, for brothers to do that, so it was pretty cool. And then Bo, he actually hit. They had Naylor got a hit. He got to first. Then Noel struck out. Then Bo stepped up to the plate and he hit a big double and got his fat first baseman brother all the way from first all the way home. So that was exciting too. And just to see the enjoyment the brothers had. I mean, just imagine that, being out in the backyard when you're a kid with your brother talking about, I'm going to play for whatever team, oh, grand slam, boom, boom, boom. And then you actually get to live it. You actually get to be in a championship game against your bitter rivals, the New York fucking Yankees. Yuck.
Yeah.
Who, if you like them, you're gross and you need to see a psychiatrist. So you're going against them, the biggest rivals that you've seen in years, and your brother's up to bat and he just hits that. Oh man, I just look, I know Howse was hitting it perfectly. There's not a lot of excitement on a single when somebody gets there, but come to my house, watch an Indians game with me. A bunt is going to be the most exciting thing. That I'm going to throw chips in your face. We're going to high five. We're going to belly slam. It's going to be an amazing time. So come watch it. Watch a Guardians game with me. Hey, it's the Lou.
Bro. The Lou, what is up, bro? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us a little bit. Are you a baseball follower, Lou? Are you keeping up with what is going on? Who do you think? What do you got? Dodgers tonight. I'm running with the Dodgers myself. I like Ohtani. I like Mookie Betts. I like Max Muncy. I'm a fan of Freddie Freeman. I like, it's a good team, like a good team of talent up and down. I know they're like, especially when you're playing like the show, because I love the show. I'm a huge fan of the show.
Me too.
It's like, so they're like super, they're like the team, like they're the team. If you're playing online, a lot of people are going to pick the Dodgers. That OP team, you know what I'm saying? So I totally get that, especially with it being like, I know California ain't, especially here in the Midwest, which most of our listeners are Midwest, listeners, and we love you guys. But I know your guys' perception of like the West Coast is like, like I get it. I feel it. But like coming from there, growing up watching a lot of Dodgers games, I loved me some Mike Piazza growing up. Like I was a huge fan of him as a catcher. Dude, and I loved him.
I had a Piazza jersey. That's how good I love.
Bro,
that's how much I love Piazza.
My son has one. It's an old one that I gave to him, and he wears it. Dude,
I had the old replica, the Brooklyn Dodgers Mike Piazza. They did the old Brooklyn Dodgers for a year. I bought one. Dude, Mike Piazza. He was great.
Love that guy.
Great.
He was what made watching Los Angeles baseball just just awesome. And like now it's another awesome time for Los Angeles baseball.
Yes.
I'm locking in. Once again, not only is it that, it's the storylines that we can see with this. I know I keep saying it, but like the West Coast, the West Coast, East Coast thing. Lou says he'd love to see a New York World Series, but the Mets have some work to do, and Piazza was a great player. You know the vibes, bro. You know the vibes. Absolutely, Lou. We got nothing but love for you, bro. But like, can you imagine, like, even like, bro, Kendrick Lamar in fucking Dodger Stadium in the World Series?
Yeah.
That'd be a vibe,
I mean,
right?
that would pop hard.
It'd pop hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be great. Like, once again, I am a Dodgers fan, but also I gotta say, like, being somebody who spent a lot of time in the Midwest, I'm gonna always have love for the Cincinnati Reds. Always have love for them. And it's a team where I got a chance to go to their games. And like, I was telling you this story a little bit before the show, but I got no problem sharing it with the household and talk. So like, when I moved from Los Angeles to Ohio, very rural part of Ohio. It's always culture shock. I mean, most definitely culture shock going from the big city of Los Angeles to, Nowheresville, Ohio. But like, it wasn't all bad because I was always interested in baseball. I watched a lot of Dodgers games at my home. They were on TV. I think it was like KCAL. I think it was KCAL 9. And so I got a chance to just sit up there and watch Dodgers games on like regular national television, no cable, nothing like that. So I watched a lot of Dodgers and like, I've loved that team for them. But then what really made me a Reds fan was really watching them with my grandfather when he was alive. And like, we would be in the kitchen. We had like one of those small, like little small TVs that you put in the kitchen. And we would just sit up. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And like, we would just sit up there and like this is post stroke. So he had a stroke by then. So he wasn't real talkative or anything like that. And he moved around real slow. Yeah. But like, he would always make his way towards that kitchen to make sure that he would put on the Reds game. And I would just sit up there and watch it with them. And I would just he would have little reactions to things. Like I said, not real talkative, and like the stroke, it hit him real bad. You know what I'm saying? But like, still some signs of life there, of course. And yeah, it was a thing where he would just sit there watching. I would sit there watching with him. So a lot of good memories watching the Reds win or lose, on any given night. That's where I got a chance to fall in love with Barry Larkin. Huge Barry Larkin fan. Love Barry. Like, he was so good, man.
Barry Larkin was a problem on the field.
Yes. I mean, it was just a vibe to watch that. And sometimes it would also be the Cubs as well. Like on WGN, we'd have WGN, so we would just put in, we just put on Cubs, the Cubs game, whoever they're playing, because my grandfather, he just loved baseball. He just had a natural. He played baseball in his younger years, and he just loved the sport, so he'd always follow it. And I would sit up there and watch it with him. And from those moments developed my love of baseball. Like, my son has played for many years. He plans to go out for the high school team and play baseball again. And like, it's cool because I love the sport. My grandfather loved the sport. My son loves the sport. And it's cool to be able to chat with it about somebody. I got my man here, the voice, Josh Joseph, man. So like, yeah, I've always been a Dodgers fan, but I always I'd say I'm a bigger Reds fan. Like, I would really say I'm a bigger Reds fan, and I think it's because of the emotional ties to it. Love the Dodgers, always love the Dodgers, but like, I would pick the Reds over. Whoa, OG Tony, you are old, man. You are so old. In 1976, Jesus, what were you, 40? Like, come on, man.
Whoa. I'm 41, and I was nowhere near being a teardrop in my daddy's eye at this year. So he's over in his 50s.
He's on you, an old man, bro. But no,
damn, OG Tony is real OG.
Yeah, man, we love you, OG Tony. You're the man. You know we got to give you hell about being old, bro.
Damn.
But we love you, bro. You're awesome. That's dope that you were at that though. Yeah, I got love for the Reds for sure. Always have love for the Reds. But he said 8th grade. Wow.
Dude, you're about to get some Social Security checks, man. Good
on
you. Good on you.
Hey, listen. I love me some OG Tony. He's fucking amazing. Yeah, he's fucking amazing, bro. Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I'm super excited about the possibilities of the World Series. Seeing my Dodgers back in there doing their thing. Seeing Ohtani get a chance to be there, and it's just gonna be fun. Like, I'm excited for it. So, yeah, man. But we want to talk about sports or whatever, and that's awesome. Let's talk about divas in sports. And we know there's like so many divas out there that are just like, they show up to practice whenever they want to. Mm-hmm. Practice. We talking about practice.
We talking about practice?
when it's showtime. He's just doing whatever he wants to do. Like, this man's become a real diva, and he's a diva here on the show here. He's just sitting over here playing video games and texting and showing up the shows late. Like, this is, everybody, let me introduce you to Dennis Rodman of In Your House. That's Hypocrisy Jones showing up and pulling back up. What are you doing, bro?
I do what I want, kid. I do what I want, bro.
I do what I want.
Yo, what is up, household? What's up, my guys?
Man,
yo, I do apologize. I do apologize for being late to the party. But if you're not late, if you're late to the party, you're on time, right? I don't know. It's always smoking out Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Listen, AI was against practice. He always came in. He had that gangster look. Look at my man coming over here with the beanie half on his head with the jacket on. He looked like he just came off the corner hustling. He's a hustler. He's a hustler.
It's been a rough week. I gotta do what I gotta do, bro. Yo, we need all them streams of income. I'm just telling you.
You're going very Dead Presidents on us.
Man. Yeah.
You're going to be doing white face here in a little bit.
Yeah, don't make me pull out the white face paint.
It's giving, like, the fit right now is giving Cassidy. I know y'all remember Cassidy.
Yeah, so you think, like, you think it's not even wrestling, but it's old school, like, Samoa Joe.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man. Gotta love Samoa Joe.
He's got a concept to the fit.
Yo,
yes,
I love it. I love it. So we was just talking a little baseball, man. We're gonna talk some wrestling here in a little bit.
Bro.
We were just talking about.
I watched that. I watched that Yankees game last night. I watched that Yankees game last night. I know Voice is really sad with
I'm angry.
Oh man,
sad.
Yo, Soto got your heart hurt.
He's like, I'm over shit.
Yeah. Oh,
bro.
I'm mailing hate letters to Soto right now. I gotta.
You hate anybody with "so" in their name. Solo,
yeah.
Soto.
Soto. Yeah,
that's all
pretty
of it,
much.
bro.
It's like, you know me, man.
I already know. Yo, Soto hit that 3-run bomb, and I was like, "Oh, dude. Voice is crying right now."
Dude, I was so mad, dude, because our pitching was on point. It was on point.
Oh, it was. What's due with the red dreads?
Classier.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I thought he had it in the bag, man. I was just like, why don't you just keep him in?
Well, yeah. I hate
crazy work.
Yeah. Well, next season is going to be a better season.
I don't understand baseball because sometimes, like, I don't understand pitch counts and things like that, or rotation of pitchers or anything like that. But like, I was just like, why'd you take this dude out, man? He would have got you 3 out.
Look, I may not agree with all of what the Cleveland pitching staff does, but they suffered a little bit at the end of the regular season, and they had to adapt. And when they adapt to this, they started winning. I don't know. I love Clase. I wish they put him in the 7th all the way to the 9th, but sometimes he leaves that slider just hanging and Aaron Judge crushes it, or stupid ass Soto hits it.
So it sounds like the results were same.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's tough night in the Voice household, huh?
And OG Tony, I see you say your wife is a Dodgers fan. My wife is a Yankees fan. I actually have a picture at our honeymoon.
Crazy.
When we went to Vegas at New York, they have a Derek Jeter statue, and she's all drunk grabbing his butt and thinking it's so funny. She's like, they don't have a Cleveland Indians hotel in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, they don't, you asshole.
Freaking Yankees, man. That's crazy.
We need a major league themed hotel.
Each floor is a different
team. Yeah. No, like the movie.
Nutty. That would be nutty though.
The movie with the that was about the Indians. What's it called?
Major League.
Yeah. We need a major league themed hotel.
Oh, so okay, I see what you're saying. So the movie themed hotel. Fuck yeah. Yeah, just leave Charlie Sheen. You can't come.
Charlie Sheen is the main attraction. What are you doing?
Yeah, but he needs to be in the bubble.
That's true, bro.
Do you want butts and seats or not? Do you want butts and seats or not?
Well, no, I don't, because I want to be there by myself, enjoying all of the luxuries.
He's like, I want to enjoy.
You can with Charlie Sheen. Yo, just make sure you're caught up in all your boxes.
Damn. So we was talking about the strong possibility of the West Coast versus East Coast beef coming back together with the Dodgers versus the Yankees, and we was talking about that could literally be one of the most viewed World Series in like so many years, with all the stars that involved in it, like Juan Soto, like Aaron Judge, like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts and whatnot, like so many stars that are involved. And like we also talked about the possibility of like somebody like a Kendrick Lamar showing up to the World Series and like being there in Dodger Stadium.
Snoop
that would be a vibe. And I think he gonna be there doing Snoop's everywhere. But like, I don't know. I think it would just hit different if nothing against Snoop. Love Uncle Snoop all day, every day. But I think it would just hit different if Kendrick Lamar pulled up there, just because
especially ahead of the Super Bowl appearance that he's gonna have. Oh, bro, the numbers of that would do crazy. It's crazy. I was talking to my wife about the World Series last night. We were watching baseball because I'm not a baseball lover myself, but she loves baseball. She's a diehard. She's a diehard Red Sox fan, so she was rooting hard against the Yankees last night.
Okay.
We were talking about the possibility of a New York LA World Series. It's just amazing. It's just crazy to think.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It really would.
Seeing Shohei versus Aaron Judge, man, I think that'll be that might be something to watch.
Well, and
it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. Soto is on track to take over some Babe Ruth records.
Yeah.
And become the ultimate Yankee player.
It looked like Soto was he's in his bag right now. So
he is. He's dangerous. You and the way they have their lineup set up, I respect everything the Dodgers can do if they go on to the World Series. Totally respect what they can do. But if you look at from 3 to 6, maybe I'll even give you 7 on the lineup for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. You're almost guaranteed at least 2 runs.
But just on the flip side of that, have the Dodgers clinch? They haven't clinched yet, right?
No, tonight.
No. They play. I
think
game
possibility.
6 is tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they win tonight. They move on.
The possibility of a Subway Series is pretty enticing as well. On the flip side,
we were talking about that.
We were talking about that too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think that hasn't happened since the 2000s, right?
That's crazy.
I'd have to look it up.
Let me look it up.
It's been a while since the Mets were good at all, but the possibility of that is crazy as well.
A lot of different possibilities that's going to make this a hugely watched World Series, which I think is going to be really good for the sport,
Yeah.
for sure. But I just think it'd be bigger if it were Dodgers and Yankees, two big market teams with top stars looking to prove themselves. But you got it up there, voice?
I do. It was a World Series 2000, 4-1 New York Yankees over the New York Mets.
2000.
Yep.
Yeah.
So exactly 24 years.
Yeah, I knew.
Wow.
I knew I was pretty close because they said last night this is the first World Series that the Yankees have been to since 2009. Just think about that.
That's crazy to think.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane to think.
During our time, I know we're old heads over here, but like during our time, like that was the dynasty. Like
they were perennial winners all the
time. Yeah. It's
time.
just
It was annoying.
Yeah,
we don't have
David
that. Justice cry.
They did. We don't have a lot of those perennial like superpowers in sports right now. Now I know you can say like the Chiefs, they're definitely there up there in that conversation, but like we haven't had
starting to enter that. Yeah,
we haven't had those dominant like teams here in a while, which I like the polarity, or I like the I like the difference in that in sports nowadays.
Yeah, I
there's not no clear-cut winner. Yeah, there's not no clear-cut winner every single year. You could almost lock in like the Patriots for a Super Bowl, or you can lock in the Golden State Warriors for NBA Finals, something like that. But now it's like there's more possibility for it to be different teams, what and whatnot. And I think that's good for different sports. I think currently for baseball, especially that baseball in the last few years has really been trying to change their image. I think it's really huge for them to kind of get in that pocket and just really do this huge stars versus huge stars, huge market versus huge market. I think for baseball, it's the right vibe and it's a good move, but like it's great to see other teams like I obviously I'm a Pacers fan, but I also wasn't mad to see the Celtics go back and finally win a finals for the first time in a while. I get it. I totally get it.
Fuck Boston.
But like sometimes it's good to not see the same teams. Oh, you got a Laker fan over here, but like it's good to not see the same teams. Like I ain't even a Laker like when it was like San Fran. Like when I was San Francisco and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I was like, I wasn't. It just felt like it. You want to see new faces sometimes, and it depends on the sport where you want to see these new faces. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
I agree. And I mean, honestly, NBA wise, we'll say the Bulls 90s, they took over. I mean, if Jordan wouldn't,
oh yeah, that was them.
I hated them.
You're allowed to hate them, but they were still dominant as hell.
I know Conman said that I was an LA fan, but I'm not really an LA fan like that. I'm Indiana do or die, bro. Like as a Pacers fan, like hated the Bulls, hated them.
Oh
like,
yeah, I get that from that perspective.
I hated the fact that my name was, before my name was hype. I hated the fact that my name was what my name was, because I was like, I can't like this dude.
Crazy, but it's true though. I feel it. But like even teams like the San Antonio Spurs, like there was people who, who didn't really vibe with the Spurs because it was just like a slow pace of basketball where they were just like very meticulous with every play, and like
big fundamental.
Big fundamental. Tim Duncan wasn't flashy, but he knew how to hurt you with those mid-range jumpers and rebounding and just defensive ability and his Halloween
pictures.
His Halloween.
Remember when he did the ref?
Oh yeah,
he got in trouble for it.
Yes, Jesus. Man. And this is a guy that was really stone-faced when he was playing games. You know what I'm saying? Like. He always got some weird fines or weird technicals or something like that, like if I remember correctly. But like once again, a guy that was a perennial winner, and was it was dynasties. That's kind of what we're talking about, dynasties basically. And like we were talking about New York sports, their hype, and I don't know if you're really following the WNBA finals, but it's been a thrilling WNBA finals that I got a chance to see highlights of, and now they're going into their game 5, which is their game 7, because it's a best of 5 series,
right?
And it's the New York Liberty versus the Minnesota Lynx, and like there's some buzz around that game. There's a lot of big like sporting events going down tonight, whether it be the Dodgers and the Mets or the Lynx and the Liberty. Have you been paying attention to this, man? And who you think can win it tonight?
No, I thought women's basketball was over when the Fever lost. I'm not gonna lie. People stopped talking about Caitlin Clark, and then I was just like, I don't know, bro. I thought the WNBA stand for "We Never Watched Basketball Ever," and I know that acronym doesn't make sense, but it does.
Yeah.
Listen, I've still been watching. It's been great. It has been great. I mean,
you and my homie Jordan Granger, the only two people I know watching women's basketball right now. And I look.
Damn, he's still watching. I thought he was done with Caitlin.
He might be. I don't know. Maybe he's on a different level. If you know, you know, man. So
he be on some other shit, bro. But no, I've been paying attention to that. But man, we've had a lot of fun. Mainly a lot of baseball talk. So that was awesome, and that was a vibe for real. I don't ever mind talking a little bit of baseball. So
I like this. I like this playoff talk, this game 7 talk, this big game feel talk, because like it leads us into some wrestling stuff, right? If we want to get into some SmackDown stuff, right? Like we got Andrade and Carmelo series. We're going to game 7, bro. It's going to be a special refereed by the one and only let's see if I get this right, LA Knight. Yeah. So like, I like this feel, right? We're in peak playoff season, right? Like it's gridiron time. Like this is the time where football wins matter. They really matter right now. This is the time where baseball matters. It's great again right now. And then we have this great series on SmackDown, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. And we're definitely going to talk about that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get the commercial breaks out of the way, knock it out right now, and then when we come back, I got a lot of stuff to talk about wrestling wise, and we're going to get into it on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to In Your House, and you guys already know the vibes. We are here to talk a little bit of pro wrestling with you guys, and man, it has been a fun episode already where we got a chance to talk a lot of baseball. That was fun. I really enjoyed that conversation. as we are moving to the World Series. So like I'm excited most definitely. But man, I'm ready to talk wrestling because Hype Mate brought up some really good points where he was talking about, man, it's just heavy. Things feel big. Things are feeling big. And like, it's true because we're leading up to Crown Jewel, which honestly, not nothing against Crown Jewel. Don't get me wrong. And I'm sure it's going to be a great show. But my focus right now, honestly, is really on Survivor Series, because I feel like a lot of things are starting to lead to Survivor Series. If we have the bloodline situation that is really starting to ramp up, we're definitely going to get into that for sure. But man, SmackDown was just another great episode. I didn't get a chance to catch every part of SmackDown, I'm gonna catch that. That's what I'll be doing this afternoon. But I did keep up with some highlights here, and I want to start it off with what they're doing currently, Voice, on the show. We're starting to see a lot more brand crossovers happening.
Yeah.
We have Solo who was there, and then boom, Jey Uso pulls up, and he's got some thoughts and things to say about everything that's going on with the bloodline. We're starting to see it happen now, Voice, where we are seeing that crossover. We kind of all knew it was going to come, but now we're there now with Jey Uso now starting to involve himself back in the bloodline business. And he even took exception to Jacob Fatu being there. And he said something really interesting in that promo. He's like, what are you doing going to Jacob? We were supposed to stay away from him. Why they got to stay away from Jacob? What's going on? There's something deeper there that I'm seeing. So I want to get y'all's thoughts. I'm going to start it here with Voice about that opening segment where Jay pulls up. It felt like I didn't expect him to be there, but he pulls up and confronts Solo in the new bloodline. And where was your mind at with it?
Well, first off, I thought it was an excellent spot in the whole show. It ended a well-deserved one now because Jay can go to SmackDown as a champion. He can, he can make his presence known because he is a champion. And it's not like some rinky-dink champion. It's the IC championship. It's a meaningful, it's a next step. It's a step to where you want to go in this business. And the words he had to say to Solo, you were right. They were very interesting, especially towards the Jacob. And this is really the first time that we've seen someone outside of a KO or a Randy Orton really kind of insert themselves in front of Jacob and let him know that, we ain't supposed to be fucking with you, man. And I like where they're going with this because it does allude to something deeper. And where are they going to play in that storyline? What is the reasoning that he said that? That's got me intrigued too. I watched that highlight multiple times just because it's very interesting the way they're phrasing things and the way that they're really inserting the extra toppings on the storyline inside the bloodline. And Jacob is going to become a more interesting character in this, I believe. I think we're going to get a different feel to Jacob through storyline. I don't know. I'm like we've talked about in the past. I'm on this roller coaster. I'm just waiting for that next loop-de-loop, holding on to the bar, just waiting. But I do like where they're going with this. And I thought that opening segment was fantastic. And I think we all know what it's leading up to. I mean, we have to. It's got to be War Games.
Yeah,
it's got to be a War Games. So.
It's got to be. It's got to be War Games. It's most that's why I'm saying at this point I'm looking. Once again, I understand Crown Jewel is an important event and it's a money making event for the WWE. But just I feel like if things are gonna really shift and have that big, okay, now we've got you all hot and heavy now for WrestleMania season, which after holiday season is over, boom, what's after holiday season? WrestleMania season. We start having those conversations. Time to start ramping up for the Royal Rumble. Everybody's going to start declaring. People are going to start declaring for the Royal Rumble. Then we got to find the spots, and who we got some surprises. We jump right into it. But what did you think, Hype Man? What were you thinking in terms of what you were seeing with the bloodline storyline, and now Jey Uso as a champion? Simba comes back to the promised land, and he has some words for what's going on with his family. What do you think?
Yo, so all of this is crazy. From the interaction that we saw with Jey and Jimmy on Raw, leading up to this SmackDown, where Jey was just adamant, like, nah. It kind of felt like Jey flipped up a bit. He became a little softer to Jimmy over the week, and I thought that was kind of weird. I thought that dynamic was kind of weird. It was kind of a quick jump. Maybe I missed something in between, but like, I thought that was interesting. But one, for there to be a conversation pointed at, we're not supposed to mess with them Tongans. You already know this. One, I mean, if we're thinking back, them Tongans, they called us out, years ago, and said, "Hey, we want them." Like, we can't mesh with them. But to single out Jacob, like you guys said, was very, very interesting. It's something that I think we have been doing as the WWE universe. But I also think it's something that I think it's interesting that WWE is pointing out Jacob in this fact, because we definitely are leading up to a War Games match. We know this dead ass, right?
He's going to be disgusting in a War Games match. I don't mean to interrupt you, but he's going to be absolutely
no. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So like I'm already thinking, well, do we put Jacob flat? Like, Jacob's is the anchor of a War Games match, right? Like, he has to be.
Or do you leave him first to create all the destruction?
Well, I mean, I think you could, but like, I think he's the anchor, which is going to be a crazy look.
He's going to just be picking up dead bodies, throwing them.
I think if he's going to be in there, which I think we all agree that most definitely that's what we're moving towards, he's either got to be first or last. I mean, most definitely. With it being last, it's a thing where it's like he's just going to come in and fucking wreck house. That's exactly. It's going to be a slow spot in the match. Maybe everybody is like down or something like that. Then the countdown's going to come. The cage is going to open. There's going to be a lot of anticipation for him to come, and he's going to come in. He might bring some weapons or something like that, and he's just going to start fucking cleaning the house. Everybody's going to get a ass in their face at fucking 50 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get the most Samoan moonsault ever. Somebody's gonna get the Samoan edge. What was it? What was the DDT that Edge did? Was it the Educator or the Education? Yeah. Execution. I think it was. You gonna get? No, I think the Education was his. Because remember, he did a submission move later on in his career, and I think that was the Educator. I have to look this up. The DDT might have been, but the point is, he's going to hit you with all those. He's going to hit you with all his best shots, and at that point, if he's the last one out, that means the match will officially start at that point. I mean, it's going to be ramped up. It's going to be crazy. I'm enjoying it. But hey, it's Dodger Stadium. What are we doing here? Are you playing video games again?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, bro. I thought it'd be a good addition to the show. I don't know. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, but like,
no, I like it.
You know what?
And I have an answer to your question, Howse. Edge's DDT in the WWE was called the Education. You were correct.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I wasn't for sure, but he's gonna come in cleaning house. I think it has big potential. But rolling back into what we were talking about in terms of like Jacob, they've really interesting wrinkle to his character. Why is he such a problem? What has he done to be such an issue? I'm interested. I think that I love the way they're building up Jacob Fatu. I really do. They're keeping him with some mystique as far as his character. He is like blindly just dedicated to Solo. What's going to happen when the time that breaks? When he doesn't have that blind dedication to Solo, what's going to happen with an unleashed Jacob Fatu? I think there's a lot of questions with what he's going to do in this Bloodline storyline, but I think there's even more intrigue about what he can do past his blind dedication to Solo Sikoa.
Absolutely. No, I think that you have something there. Like where does he go from there? But like, where is there a cutoff point to that devotion?
Yeah, where does it end at? Because he gave up, like he willingly just gave up the tag team title to give it to Tongaloa. He's in back with the logic being you can't be my enforcer and the tag team champion at the same time. Why not? Why can't I?
Right.
But he didn't question that. He did not question that. He just gave it up. So I don't know, man. Voice, what do you think?
I think there's one little pushback I have to have here. Jacob Fatu follows the and excuse me if I get this wrong, the Follow.
That's the biggest championship in the WWE right now. I've been saying this.
Yeah. So his dedication is to that. So whomever holds that around their neck is who gets Jacob Fatu. It's not a Solo thing. Solo, if that was taken from Solo, Jacob Fatu would be the first one to attack Solo. Easily.
That's fire. That is a fire thought right there. A fire thought.
I like that.
It harkens me back to the Undertaker and the urn. Like,
yes.
Have you guys noticed how distressed?
Fire opinion. I love that.
Have you guys noticed how distressed the Ulafala is lately? Like maybe it's just a me thing, but I've noticed here lately that it looks a little bit more worn. When Roman had it was very well kept.
Pristine.
Yeah, like I just noticed right now that like there is a little bit more wear and tear on the Ulafala. Like there's paint off of it. It's not being taken care of right now.
Well, was the right man holding it when it was around Roman's neck?
You're not wrong.
Something of significance doesn't shine if it's around the wrong person. If the wrong person's holding it. Something of wrong. Significance and family. When the right person is holding it, it looks like the most valuable thing to ever set this earth.
I wonder if that's a story beat or if it's just a coincidental thing.
I would love it for it to be like a wrinkle in the story for sure. I want to talk about like the psychology of Solo Sikoa real quick, because my thought is this. I'm like, so he's forced this bloodline. I wonder if he felt some kind of heartbreak when Roman lost the championship or something like that. Like he almost like seeing his hero fall, and now he's forged this path for himself. And like we've talked for weeks and weeks about it. It all feels really forced, right? Like a lot of the stuff that he does feels forced. Like he's forced. Like what if it's part of the psychological thing that's going on with Solo right now, that he's just rebelling? Like he's just rebelling against everything that he thought was tried and true. Roman could do no wrong. Roman loses and then disappears. He feels lost and helpless. So what does he do? He forms his own family. He forms his own bloodline in spite of his hero who lost and left his side. Solo's been here. We got a lot of opinions about Solo. A lot of thoughts fly around about Solo Sikoa, but one thing that cannot be disputed is that we've seen Solo weekly, every single week, week in, week out.
Yeah.
We have not seen Roman. So what if this is just like, sometimes you get a chip on your shoulder, you get motivated by heartbreak, and like what if that's the era that we're seeing Solo Sikoa in right now, where he's so bound and determined to prove that he can lead the family, but he hasn't won nothing. Here's the thing, let's talk about it. Solo is the leader of the bloodline who has not won anything. So like it still feels forced in that way, and like it just feels like a heartbroken teenager who lost their hero, and now he's feel like he got to prove something to the world. and that's what it feels like with Solo. But like, I think Solo will find his way, but it still feels forced for me.
Do you guys think that Solo taking the tag team championship away from Jacob was to harken back to when Solo's what is it called, NXT North American Championship was taken away from him?
It could be, because look, he came in as the enforcer, and he had to give up his title as the enforcer, and he said, listen, you can't be an enforcer with the title. I think that he's knows what he's doing with, oh wow, this is a deep cut here, because he knows exactly what he's doing with Jacob Fatu. What was the thing with Roman? Roman always kept Solo at an arm's length, because he knew Solo had what it takes to actually really take him down with enough training and enough growth. And I think that the thing with Solo is that Solo cut a deal with Jacob, and he's obviously manipulated Jacob, and Jacob is enticed with the Ulafalu. But I think he knew he had to keep Jacob as his enforcer, because like Roman, he knows that Jacob could take him down by himself if he really wanted to turn. So like, it's a very interesting, the way everything's moving is just really super. Once again, like you guys were saying, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but like, I don't want to think too much into that, because just the way that it's all falling is so intricate and well thought out, from my standpoint, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really is. And I do like, I want to go back to a comment we had from Grunmeister, our blue-eyed villain himself. And he was talking back into the bringing Jacob into the war games. At what number do you do that? And he is saying the question is going to be, where do they want Solo coming in? And I think that is very on the nose with it, because you're going to want someone like Jacob coming in there and wrecking house, and then Solo coming up behind that and claiming
picking the bones.
Yes, exactly, because he is the tribal chief. You want I would assume, the easiest access to the championship for him. He is your leader. And then Tony G jumped in when we had the Roman discussion. He was frustrated with Roman. He's speaking of Solo during the WrestleMania match. He was yelling at Roman. He was.
What was the saying? John. It was losses matter, right? They count for something. It's been an overarching theme for the bloodline for a very long time, and I think that's something that Solo took to heart.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was the little homie in the group, bro. Like, if you know that type of mentality, especially like mafia, gang warfare, gang type mentality, you bring in little homies and you make them believe everything, that all the rules and all the regulations in the gang are something that you live by. You live by that. You know what I'm saying? You live by that code of the gang, the code of the mafia. And
blood in, blood out, yo.
Exactly. Like, when you live by that and then you don't see the OGs living by that, that's when you're like, okay, all right, you're breaking everything I believed in. You told me to believe in this, but you don't believe in it. Now I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And that's very much what we're seeing with Solo Sikoa. The little homie is trying to force himself to OG status, and it's just not working like that, because he ain't won nothing. But in hell, because he whooping Roman's ass every week.
Yeah, every week we're seeing Roman on the mat, face down, in distress, bro. Pimp down, pimp in distress. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, it's tough out here for him.
I like what you were saying about Solo, and it reminds me of. I'm going to tie this all into the sports talk we were having. It reminds me of the Celtics when they got Rondo, and Rondo fell right behind everything Garnett, Pierce was saying, Allen, and then all of a sudden they were like, hey, I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere, and Rondo was like, motherfuckers, what the fuck?
What the
hell? Were building a gangster hood over here, and you all motherfuckers just left. That's just
man,
what
that's
popped in my
exactly
head
what
when
it's
you were
like.
saying that.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see where you're going with that. But yeah, man, that's exactly what it is. Like, it's just a little homie who bought into everything, and everything that he believed in fell around him. So what do? You either fall apart or you pick yourself back up. And like,
True.
I think there's a very interesting story arc with Solo Sikoa, to where it's like it's by design. Like, we see him coming out, like he's like, it feels like he's what's the word I'm thinking of here? He's overexerting himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, it's like he's trying to convince himself he's the tribal chief. You know, by telling everybody, acknowledge me, acknowledge me. Like, he's trying to make like, it feels like he wants everybody to believe he's the tribal chief, but he's still trying to convince himself. And I think that, like, that's the disconnect with him, as far as like what you see as far as the character that he is. But like, that's his character. That's what it is that he's supposed to be coming off as like oh, I'm the big homie. But like, bro, you ain't lived long enough to be the big homie. You ain't done enough to be the big homie. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's giving.
If you psychologically break it down, bro, like, the only thing that Solo had was the bloodline, right? Like, he never really had any championships. He, you know, although he was he's the little brother of Jimmy and Jay, like, they have their own thing. Roman without the bloodline is still always going to be Roman and a top attraction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he's showing that now.
Without the bloodline, Solo has nothing, so he has to be the life force of it. This is kind of a case of somebody that understands the assignment way too well, right? Because he understands it and he needs it, because without it, he doesn't have anything.
Yep,
that's a very deep thought into that. And that really rounds all of what Solo truly is for his bloodline. He is the heartbeat. He is the thing, that the life force that keeps it going. So why not get the guys who you were told not to fuck with because of their dedication to the family in itself? I mean, the Tonglins, as long as you put a T on one of them and the other one gets to wear the other leather, they're content. They're good.
Yes.
Send them out there. They're going to beat the fuck out of anybody you tell them to. Maybe even each other. You never know what's going to happen with them. But you know what's going to happen with Jacob, and it's just destruction. And again, it brings us right back to what Jay said to his face. You know, if you keep looking at me like that, I'm gonna fuck you up. It's just gonna happen.
Right.
And nobody's really stepped to Jacob like that. And I kind of seen the fear in Solo's eyes when Jay did, and he stepped to Jacob. It's not like he said it where he was standing. He made sure Jacob knew he was talking directly to him, and I thought
right
it was
there, turned his attention directly to him.
Exactly.
Yep.
Even the title, he turned it right, like everything. So I loved it. And the more that Jones talks about Solo's mindset in this, and knowing his place and how he's got to run it to keep it going, because that's what he has. That's a really, really deep cut on that, man.
Try. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
It's hypocritical opinions right here.
We don't got to talk about practice anymore, man. If you're pulling things out like that, yeah,
for sure. We talk
about whenever you want, man.
Hey, I love it, man. I'm digging it. But we got to stay with SmackDown, because there's a lot of stuff that did happen in SmackDown, a lot of bloodline stuff, and we kind of broke all that down. But like, as you know, you guys both know, and a lot of our great household out there, they know as well. I'm somebody who loves two things in wrestling. That's tag team wrestling and tournament-based competition in wrestling. And so I'm loving the fact that we're seeing a tag team #1 contenders tournament for the bloodline. We saw some great teams advance, DIY advances, and let's talk about the other team who advanced in their triple threat match. A-Town Down Under and Los Garzos, they went down to the debuting Motor City Machine Guns, who will now face DIY for opportunity to go up against the Bloodline. What do we think? What do we think about the Motor City Machine Guns? I know this is something that's been speculated for a long time, especially by Grun. Grun's really been covering that heavy, and we'll have him back probably tomorrow to give some thoughts on that on Window Lickers. But like, we saw them debut, they came back for a reason. It wasn't just some meaningless tag match, which I thought we were going to get. They went ahead and shift and pivoted and put them in something meaningful in terms of this tag team tournament. They move on. Voice, what are you thinking, man, about seeing the Motor City Machine Guns finally in the WWE?
Well, yeah, exactly what you said right there at the end. Finally, they're here. I mean, I was saying, I wish they were a couple more years in the past if they would have came back, because I harken back to the AJ Styles thing and all that. But yeah, I thought it was a great pop for them. The fans really, they enjoyed seeing them. So I was really iffy on how that was going to play out, because yes, do we know them? Yes. Does the household know them? Of course. But like my parents didn't know them, and they've been watching wrestling forever. It's because they don't watch anything outside of the WWE. Like, that, nothing else makes sense to them.
Right.
So, and I thought we got like what you said when me, you, and Grun spoke of it, and we were kind of speculating on what we would see. We got the greatest hits from them. Did they look the best? I wouldn't say so, but that's because they haven't worked with much of the talent that's in the ring before. So that's going to come with more time and more features like this. Again, I enjoyed seeing them. My only critique, though, when you debuting new guys, especially a tag team, and you have a tag team tournament going on like this, I don't like when they get put into the possibility of a championship run right out the gate. To me, that leaves more of a bad taste in my mouth, only because I've seen the teams that were already there and what they've already done. So, I kind of want them highlighted also. And I think that's a way you get them out there, you get them debuted, but you don't have to give them the win. They don't have to win. Like,
I think we're going to see that later on. I think this is a debut, and they want people to get a couple sample sizes of Motor City Machine Gun. Although I'm familiar with Motor City Machine Gun, I don't know everything. I couldn't tell you what the hits are called sometimes, but even if I like the music, you know what I mean? But like, I think we're gonna get a sample size of them through this tournament, and they probably won't end up winning this tournament. Obviously, I don't think anybody who comes out of this tournament to challenge the tag team champions, probably gonna lose. But it is going to give enough of a highlight and sample size, and probably if it doesn't put Motor City Machine Gun on it. Next week's match with DIY, I believe, will be a banger, and it'll highlight DIY if nothing else.
Okay, I like that.
I think both teams will be highlighted. Come from I honestly think DIY is the perfect opponent for the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, that was just that was by design, and it was perfectly placed, because those two are going to tear the house down, and it's going to be beautiful tag team wrestling.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's what you're going to get out of both of those teams. They're both identical in the amount of work that they put into a show. Again, I'm starting to come more around on DIY. I still prefer to see them in singles, just because I like the way they wrestle as singles, especially when they're going against each other. But I am coming around to this tag team and their meaning inside the WWE tag team division on SmackDown.
Sure. Yeah. It's definitely starting to seem like that's what we're going to see them at for a while. I know we've seen Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa feud together and have great feuds. But I think if you want them to be on TV right now and they want to find their spot, there is definitely an opening in an ever growing tag division. We got to have great tag team wrestling. We need to have it, and I think that WWE is really starting to develop and grow their tag division to where we're seeing something very, very cool starting to develop. So I'm down with it. I like where it's going. It's moving in the right direction. I like that we're seeing talents like Lash Legend. It seems like they're. I mean, are they here? Are they here now? Is Lash Legend and Cara Jackson, are they officially here? You know, Lash picked up a win against Piper Niven. Like, what's going on? Are we here or what's up? And if we are, let's do it, because I'm loving that with the fact, and I've been talking about this with Annie. I'm loving the fact that the women's tag team division is starting to move as well.
I'm loving that too. I think Lash Legend and I think they're here. I think the females of Metaphor are definitely in the building as far as the main roster goes now. And no slight to Noam Dar, but like I'm happy to see these birds fly away from Metaphor. Even on the NXT scene, you look at Ora Mensah, he's actually killing it, doing his thing. I think he's going to be a solid like solo star, but these girls right now absolutely are killing it, and I think they're here and they're making a presence, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's crazy that you said that, because like me and Annie were having a conversation on Wednesday. We were talking about Damage Control, and we were talking about how we think that some factions actually benefit from being, from dissolving. We think that Damage Control needs to dissolve. But yeah, the Metaphor, I think they've been benefiting from that faction dissolving. I think they just wanted them with Noam Dar, because Noam Dar would be a great, like, somebody to be with them and coach them while they're trying to get through their journey on NXT and get better, because Noam Dar is a great overall in-ring competitor. But then he got injured, and
they've shined without him probably more. It sadly.
I agree.
Well,
I agree, but like once again,
learned and flew.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah. I mean,
that's exactly it. That's a great point.
And I liked what you and Annie were talking about on the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neil on Wednesday. That the dissolving of some of these factions, because they were needed as a stepping stone to get these people in front of our faces, no matter who they were, male, female, it doesn't matter. That's what factions are. It's to highlight those people. I mean, hell, if we stuck in factions, give me Evolution again. I want that back. I want to see that Generation X. I never wanted to see it go away.
Absolutely.
But we get the evolution, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. And what better spot to land than the women's tag division, a much growing, a much improving field in wrestling that honestly we've been highlighting here on IYH forever. I mean, the women's division, we've been asking for what we're getting now. With all the fantastic talents and great matches that we've been getting to see.
Yes, just great points, man. And it's just, this has been a really great episode, guys, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, but we're not done yet, because I want to continue this talk, because Cody came out and Cody had some words. He decided he wanted to invite Gunther to SmackDown, and we've seen him showing up to Raw, but we haven't seen Gunther come to SmackDown, to my knowledge. I want to start with Voice here. What's your thoughts, man? We're moving into this champion versus champion match for that disgusting Crown Jewel Championship. My God. I mean, sheesh. But what are you thinking, man? We're moving towards this champion versus champion thing. I gotta say, I think the two men are gonna put on a great match. Not excited for the outcome either way. I think we might see possibly a possibility where the Bloodline could possibly screw over Cody and help Gunther win. I mean, just something like that. I don't know. But like, what are your thoughts on where we're at right now with this champion versus champion match? Voice.
I mean, let's be honest. Crown Jewel, it's a money grab. It's, they're getting ready for tax season, making sure that you got all your money in order, because they do get a big bag for this. And I like how they're actually making it meaningful. Do I like that god awful belt? No. No,
What?
I do not.
You don't like
I
that
don't.
belt?
It's gross.
That's
But-
wild.
Yeah, it is not. It's not an attractive belt, bro. Like I would not want that in my belt collection.
Oh
I know
man, I
it's
want that
expensive.
belt. I want that belt. I'm not gonna. I want that belt. I think that the belt is crazy. Like it's so big. Like I don't know. I think it's amazing. I want to. I low key want to see Cody win it, so he has to like visually mirror Roman as he did with the 2 belts. I think that would be interesting for Survivor Series. But man, I like the belt. I don't care. I don't.
Well, I mean, it does harken to what I'm talking about with this specific PLE. It's big, it's gaudy, it's there to get you money.
Yeah, for sure. That's the point. That's the point.
Let's be real. Like the Saudi government, they were just like, hey, we want our own championship belt and we want it to be the best championship belt. Here's some jewels, make it.
Here's all our jewels.
Yeah. $1 billion in jewels. No one cares. They don't care. They have more money than gods.
Yeah, they do. And it's continuous. But you asked me about Cody basically saying, come here, Gunther. Like, that's beneath Gunther. Like, he's not going to go where you want him to go. He's going to go where he needs to go. And, like I was told as a child, be careful what you say for, especially in front of a mirror, because if you say the Candyman's name 3 times, he's going to appear. And, don't be taunting Gunther, because that dude, he is a bull and he is ready to hurt people. And if you want to give him another championship, he's willing to break you for it. So I like what's happening. Again, this PLE is for fun, in my opinion. Yes, they're putting storylines into it, but in the overall sense, nobody harkens back to Crown Jewel throughout the year and you're like, oh man, that was the PLE to watch. It's more of a spectacle. It's more of like Saudi Arabia wants their own, the Saudis want their own championship. They want their own PLE. And they can give you the money for that. So why not do that? It's just smart business.
Yeah.
These are the same people that wanted. These are the same people that wanted Yokozuna.
They
that's a legit
thing. They wanted Yokozuna. They wanted Ultimate Warrior. That's a real thing.
Yeah. That's why they had a sumo wrestler in the biggest battle royal just to almost cosplay as Yokozuna.
Did they think like Vince was pulling a Walt Disney and freezing the legends in a basement somewhere and just defrosting them?
I think they think some wild things, bro.
So okay.
Maybe they got technology.
So from what I understand, the reason that they wanted these people is because at that time, a lot of people who were watching wrestling were watching 90s wrestling. They were behind.
Oh,
that makes
sense. Okay.
So they thought these people were still alive.
Got you.
They had to up those deals, bro.
Yeah.
They got to figure out them network deals over there.
Somebody better tell them the wrestlers don't live long, bro. Like they just don't, they don't live that long. But
steroids ain't a great diet, bro.
Yeah, like
Kevin Nash
bro.
is all dying his facial hair and everything and going over there.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why Goldberg went and Undertaker.
Yeah.
This is why Shawn Michaels had a match over there. Let's be real.
They're like, why are you so old?
And guys, we all know they were way past their prime when they were wrestling at Crown Jewel. Way past their prime. But like these people didn't care. Like I think that's why, because I know the Crown Jewel is a very like it's for them. It's not for us. And
exactly.
With me having that understanding, I think that's why I don't get like over the top excited about these shows, because like Saudi Arabia is what kind of made us to international WWE until they started going to places like Puerto Rico and Australia and back to the UK and back to Canada and all these places, all these awesome new places that they're going, Berlin, you know, and you get to see. But like when it comes to Saudi Arabia, they're very like, it's a very archaic, you know, old world in a lot of ways. And like they just like things a certain type of way that doesn't vibe really well with us Americans. And like, yeah, man. So like Survivor Series, bro, like Crown Jewel will be what it is, and then boom, Survivor Series, and we can like that's gonna be a vibe because I believe that's in what, Vancouver, Canada. I think that's in Canada. Like
Yes.
gonna be a vibe. Like that's gonna be a fun night. So like Crown Jewel, all right, let's do it. Whatever, I'm fine. But like Survivor Series, bro, that's where my mind's at.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I get you. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, most definitely. So like I want to keep this conversation going because we pretty much, you know, broke down a lot of the parts of what's going down on SmackDown. But there was something that I wanted to bring up because a topic of conversation that we've been talking a little bit about, and you guys will feel me when I really break it all down. We was talking a little bit about Karrion Kross and how we really like. I know me personally. And I think it was either Grunt or it was Hype, but like we're really digging like Karrion Kross like when he's out of character. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's just talking and we're getting a chance to really hear his thoughts about wrestling and things that he aspires to do in wrestling and wants to do. It's some pretty far out type shit. And like he's a very like unique mind, and I like it. I like that a lot. And like we're starting to see his character start to come into a little, I go crazy here, but like he's got a little bit of a character arc right now where he's speaking venom into certain people like Xavier Woods, like The Miz. And I like that. Me and Annie have been kind of really keeping an eye on that as far as Karrion Kross. Now I say that to say this. During a segment backstage with The Miz where he's really been in The Miz's ear, we saw a signal come up, you know, a Wyatt 6 signal come up, which I don't know what that means. Is that is the next victim going to be Karrion Kross? Is it going to be Miz? I guess we'll see as the weeks come on. But it got me thinking because like we saw them do their thing with, you know, with American Made, and that ended. They pretty much dominated the feud. But now they've done nothing or really haven't been seen much since, except for a vignette here and there. And now it seems like they've set their intentions. I want to ask this because there was a lot of excitement when this stable came out and happened. Where's our excitement at with the Wyatt 6 right now? And I want to start with Voice because I know that you had some thoughts, and I even told you keep it to yourself till we get to this point because I want to hear your authentic thoughts. I know you're a huge Wyatt guy, huge Bray Wyatt guy. You was down with it. I'm down. You know, I was down with it too, but it's cooled off quite a bit. What are your thoughts? Where's your excitement level at with the Wyatt 6?
Yeah, I mean, you're correct with everything you hit. My thoughts are I love what they're playing here because we seen them when they debuted and we've seen them quite often. You know, we could expect a weekly video package or something to do with them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like all we're seeing is these little snippets. We're not seeing them. I like that because we talked about that. We talked all in your household. We didn't want to get this overexposure of these guys because then it takes the mystique away from them. They're keeping the mystique and the paranormal with them, the occult like. And now there's a possibility that we're either going to, I don't think it's an either or. I think we're going to get something with this Karrion Kross character and what he's forming, because to me it feels like he's taking all the characters, all the wrestlers that the fans fell in love with throughout the years and have been really fan favorites, fan heavy type faces in the landscape of WWE, and he's taking them and he's showing them that that love is gone. you're not being treated the way you were by the people you say are your brothers, or in the Miz's case, he's not getting what he once was. He's playing to these ideas of self-doubt, and he's like
Yep.
inserting his venom, like you said, into that, which is a really hard thing to pull off. I mean, the paranormal thing,
Yeah.
the Viking aspect, WWE has had it. They've had hits and then they've had misses, and the hit
Yep.
that they had was Kane and Undertaker. I mean, brothers that were of the paranormal, and then they were riding
Yep.
Harleys, and then one's a politician. So it continued. So, but what I'm saying is like the idea that Karrion Kross is playing the Hannibal Lecter type villain, where he's fucking with your head. Hey Clarice, what did the guy next the cell say to you? Well, those are words I can't say on here because I'll get kicked off. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, he's playing in the minefield of all these guys, and the people that the fans were really behind, we're now starting to see the weaknesses in their foundation, their self-doubt and things like that. And Karrion Kross is going into that. So I think that's where it blends into, in my long rambling, of the Wyatt Six kind of coming into that. And it's going to be all of these guys. They're going to be going after the Miz. They're going to be going after Xavier Woods and Karrion Kross, because all of those people are going to form and become something.
See, that is an interesting thought, because one, I think about what Karrion Kross is doing and why he is the one that they are mainly, it seems like that's their next target right now, is Karrion Kross. And I feel like the reasoning why is because in their mind, Karrion Kross is trying to break up, families. He's breaking up the brotherhood of the Miz and R-Truth. He's breaking up the brotherhood of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day. And what did we see? Like, we've talked about this. We talk about how the Fiend was the hurt and how Uncle Howdy is the heel, and how even though he terrorized the American Made came out on the other side a stronger faction, and he tightened them up as a family. The Wyatt Six did. You target somebody like Karrion Kross, who's trying to break up families, while you are effectively trying to strengthen families. I think that makes sense why Karrion Kross could be the next victim of the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Miz is the next victim, personally, of the Wyatt Six, because of how he did R-Truth, and because of his history of betraying people that have his back. I mean, if anybody's a habitual offender, it's Miz.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. He's definitely had his history.
And I don't know how I feel about Karrion Kross yet. Completely. I don't know if I'm buying what he's selling, like 100 fold, because basically Karrion Kross is locker room therapist, and it's weird. And I don't understand why a locker room therapist has a large entourage. And I'm trying to fully understand it and get behind it, but I don't understand it yet. I'm okay with not seeing so much Wyatt Six until they have something to sink their teeth into, because there could be an oversaturation with them, with things their things need to stay special.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what they did with American Made, and they really did make that team a bigger family in the long run. The idea is the ideal Uncle Howdy had for Chad Gable was to not turn his back on family. Now, he did his original family in Otis and Maxine and every
that way,
yeah. But he found a stronger unit he kind of, subsequently is upholding those ideals that Howdy was trying to instill in him into this new family.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's just crazy to think because people were so excited about it, and like, of course, and we've said this on the show, they have to be delicate with this, and I think they have been. My question was, is the excitement still there? And I think that when they do start the show back up, I think it'll ramp back up. But because they haven't been on TV, that's where things are a little bit quiet. But we'll see how it goes, most definitely. And we talk about all these character arcs. We talk about everything that is going down with developing characters and what their meaning is and what their role is. Kevin Owens is somebody who I wanted to make sure that we talked about on this show because he's taken a very interesting character arc himself with this guy who feels like he's being silenced. He feels betrayed by Randy Orton. Everything that's going on with the Golden Boy, Cody Rhodes. We're seeing a more unhinged version of Kevin Owens, and this is exactly what I said was going to happen. You guys can even listen to the last few episodes and what have you. I said that this is exactly what we're going to lead to. He's going to be in a very Drew McIntyre type state of mind where everything Drew McIntyre was doing, yes, he was the heel in the situation, but everything he was doing was moving off of his logic and his understanding of everything that was going on around him. I think that's exactly what's going on with Kevin Owens, is that he's moving off of his logic and his understanding of everything that's going on around him. And if you want to portray that as a heel, that's fine. But Kevin Owens is going to do Kevin Owens things. And I knew that he had the potential to kind of jump into that unhinged Drew McIntyre-esque type role that we saw McIntyre do last year. Now we're going to see the same vibe with Kevin Owens. Hype, where are you at with the development of Kevin Owens right now?
Kevin Owens really is an enigma because like everything that he is doing is very, very it's unhinged. It's unlike him, but he also has the most valid of reasons to do everything that he's doing. Cody's an idiot. Randy should be back in KO. Like these are just things like that should be happening right now. And like I'm with KO. I understand his frustration. He's like every time he has a boy, bro. Every single time he has a boy, they end up joining the enemy. Like he's tired of this shit.
That is true. He's had it.
Like tell me where I'm wrong. Like because Sammy did this shit. Like now Cody's doing it, and now seemingly Randy is gonna do it too. Because what if Randy teams more with Cody and the Bloodline shit or Roman shit? That should send Kevin over the edge because it should make him feel like he's the most sane person in the room, and everybody else is insane. Like he's in the insane asylum, but nothing is wrong with him. But everybody else is batshit crazy.
Yeah,
interesting.
That is interesting. That's
a very
really
interesting point there, Jones.
Am I wrong?
You want to expand on that?
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would like to pose this question to you. What has been the most common denominator in all those situations?
The Bloodline.
So when Sammy and KO they turned against each other back in the day when they debuted, the Bloodline was driving that force, was it?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were going that far back.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, I thought you were going with this. Let's go all the way back to it because that's where we're going with it because that's where he's alluding to. There's so many things he's bringing up from the past. Why not go all the way back? Common denominator is you, Kevin Owens.
You can't trust Kevin Owens. You can't trust
Kevin Owens.
You can't trust Kevin Owens.
What is he doing to get all these guys that he's teaming up with to go with what he presumes as the dark side? These are questions that just are asked, Jones. I'm not expecting an answer, but
all I can say is people change, and then sometimes you realize why you just got to go back to the old you.
Very true, and that's where we get KO.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, when does he just explode and just become the guy who just wrecks shop and leaves without paying?
He's about to hit a menace era for sure.
This is my
Exactly.
point with Kevin, is that like he tried to change. We all saw it. We
Yep.
literally all saw it. He was trying to do everything that was good, that was for the people, and it all got shitted on, right? In his face.
True.
Even if he gained some good, man, he got the most bad from it still, I don't know. I understand Kevin's past, but I also understand Kevin's past, knowing that like he tried to change. He was trying to do the right things. We visibly saw that. We saw him fight. We saw him fight for what was right. And now everybody else has just turned ship. He's the only one that stood firm. Kevin Owens is a guy that does not like change. Change is hard for him. But over time, we've learned that he can adapt to it. Right? But this is too much change.
I mean, that's a valid point.
Interesting points. A lot. And this is why it's interesting, because there's so many ways that you can dig into these characters now and really peel back. I mean, we've been doing it with Solo. Now we're doing it with Kevin Owens, and really trying to peel back the layers of who these personalities are outside of just moves in the ring, which I think it's an awesome time in wrestling for us to be doing what we're doing right now. And like we can call awesome moves, and like don't get me wrong, I know we all love us some wrestling, but like the fact that we're really breaking it down to what we're breaking it down to is just great. You have everything going on with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Roman saying that he doesn't need Jay, but still saying that he's proud of him and everything. It's a lot of things moving in a very interesting time in wrestling, and we're covering it all. We got a lot of things that's coming up. We got Mello, we got Andrade, and that's going to be match 7 with LA Knight as the special guest referee. I have to bring that up because that's going to be coming up, I believe next week. I think it is. But Voice, you've been covering this series the entire time. Match 7 is here, man. What do you think? Because I really feel like the thing is, I think whoever wins this one is going to be the next opponent for LA Knight. And I think there's a strong possibility that because we went through this whole match series, whoever wins it and whoever goes on to go up against LA Knight could possibly be the one who beats LA Knight for the United States Championship. So what are you thinking, man, about this match series? Him being special guest referee, where's your mindset at? Because you've been covering this thing the whole time.
Well, I mean, honestly, the match series in itself has just been a fantastic feature on the mid card for WWE. LA Knight being in it, I can take it or I can leave it. It doesn't, to me, he doesn't need to be a special guest referee, but it does, excuse me, bring up some excitement for an LA Knight fan. And plus, the next step is to go up against LA Knight. So it does make sense. I just, as a fan, I don't need it. Maybe have him ringside watching it. I would enjoy that commentary. I enjoy that.
I'm okay with that. I'd be more okay with that. Yeah.
I really like him on a mic. I think he's funny. I think he keeps everybody captivated, and it's a fun time. But the match series in itself, I believe it's going to go to Mello. I believe Mello gets the win. I believe Mello's the next one to take the title off LA Knight. We've
talked about that, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the work that this young man has been doing, and he's made himself undeniable in a ring. I know Grun a few weeks back was still unsure about Mello, but I know he's come around to watching him in this series. And really, Andrade he's really just hit every note that I wanted him to hit coming back to the WWE. And that was the first step. That first note, he just needed to come back, because I knew deep down what he's done outside of the WWE was going to translate so well in what the fan base is looking for right now in somebody to watch. And for them to pair Melo, this young up and coming talent who is just busting ass, and he's hearing what the veterans are telling him, and he's translating it into the next match. It really speaks to the minds of creative and story building, and they got this one so amped up and so ready to go. It's like almost the start of World War III with these guys. Like they are trying to get at each other at any chance they possibly can, and it's fantastic. And for it to ultimately be around the United States championship, I like it. I think it's a great move. We've heard Melo's his hopes when he wins it, what he's going to bring back, and I think it's a great move. And if you're bringing in Cena, Jones pointed it out the last time we had him on. It's a fantastic way to fold all these stories into this, and why not do it?
Yeah, most definitely. I dig it. I dig where we're going with it. I just think it's a good spot. I think it's a good spot for Melo to be in, for Andrade to be in, the United States Championship to be in. Like it just like, and it seems like a lot of these titles are starting to gain more prestige. Like even the formerly cursed women's tag team championships are now, coveted in a competitive division that was lost. That division was lost. It had no direction, nothing done, not a dead. I mean, it was DOA, dead on arrival, done. But this division has turned around so much. It's really awesome to see the women's tag team titles feel more prestigious now with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill holding them. The Intercontinental Championship had, it's doing kind of what we thought it was going to do after a long run with Gunther. It's kind of like floating here and going back and forth there, but the prestige is still there, and I feel like the man has the title right now. LA Knight being the United States champion, I think that he's had a decent run, but I do think that he's cooling down. I think he's a man that doesn't need the United States championship. And I think that we're setting up for Carmelo Hayes to have a decent United States championship run, which I feel like is the perfect lane for him, especially if you're going to bring back the spinner title and hold it going into Netflix. So by the time Raw goes to Netflix and SmackDown goes to 3 hours on USA, we'll be seeing John Cena come back. So, and there's been rumors that Cena was wanting Hayes to be one of his first feuds. Why not do it for the coveted U.S. spinner title? So it's just something to think about there. Cody being the undisputed champion. Gunther is a great world heavyweight champion. We're in a good spot right now with the titles, and I just think that it's an interesting time for the company. You're seeing a lot of these crossovers, guys going back and forth to different shows that you wouldn't normally see, and like the guys like Jey Uso going to SmackDown and Jimmy Uso going to Raw. Like normally I'd be at this point, so many people will be like, oh, so much for the brand split. I got to be honest, I haven't even really seen that noise. And the reason why is because these guys going on both shows, it makes sense. Like there's sense in why they're doing it. It's not just randoms from Raw randomly popping up on SmackDown. Jimmy Uso's been saying, hey, we need help. So, of course, he's going to travel over to Raw and be like, hey, bro, we really need you. And then, you have Jimmy who who is now like, oh, now I got to deal with this because he said no. And then you got Jay coming over, and he had a, seemed like Hype said earlier in the show, he had a change of heart and ended up, you know what, let me go ahead and confront this new bloodline on SmackDown. I'm not really messing with Roman, but I'm still going to say my piece. So he showed up, Cody Rhodes showing up to Raw, then Cody Rhodes inviting Gunther to SmackDown. These crossovers make sense. And I think that's why there hasn't been, even with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax going back and forth, like it makes sense because that's what we're building. They're going
especially inserting Tiffany in that.
Sense.
Yeah, especially with the
exactly like so it's all making sense. It's not just we're just randoms popping up on the other show. It's all moving in with each other, and that's why we're not hearing those complaints, because they're doing things that make sense. I love the way that they've kind of like broke down the brand split a little bit as we're moving into Crown Jewel and Survivor Series. I love it because you're not hearing people complain. Why? Because it makes sense.
I like that. You know, I would like to bring up a point, Howse. You months ago we talked about titles and the meaning behind them, and the meaning behind a lot of the things that they do behind the storylines and things like that. And it seems like they've really listened to the fan base who is doing that now. I mean, like, it's not just the bloodline that's getting the most praise for storyline. Everybody's getting some. I mean, the women's tag division itself, like we were talking about, it's like it picked up, it started moving, and you brought that up a lot months and months ago when we were talking about it. It was almost last year's WrestleMania when we were talking about it, because you know, those were also after the SummerSlam when I said SmackDown is going to be the show. And honestly, that's where they're really evenly matched right now. I mean,
it really is.
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
Yeah. And it's getting to a point to where it's like, you know, we're expecting, like, even the American Made faction, you know, we're seeing the progression of them because of the Uncle Howdy storyline, the Wyatt Six storylines, all that stuff. It's just really cool to see that the group we work with, the way we think, we're starting to see it like translate into what we watch. So it's good to know that the guys on and ladies that control WWE are listening to the fans and what we are actually wanting in our storylines.
Yeah, that's a great point. I agree with that because it's important. And once again, it's like I said, we were having a conversation earlier in the chat, and a name came up, and we don't got to go into that whole diatribe. We don't need to, but it's something that I just, like, when you said that, it made me think, and it's true. This is the most must-see and profitable time in wrestling since like the late 90s, bro. Like, this is for years I've been talking about, there's a wrestling boom coming. Oh, here comes a wrestling boom. It's going to be coming. It's here. We're in the midst of it. I mean, wrestling is as popular as it's been in a very long time. More people are messing with it. New fans are starting to come in all the time. I feel like I meet new people that have just started watching just in like the last 3 or 4 years. It's crazy, bro, to see it. It's truly crazy because, like, I'll bring up something that happened in like 1999, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know anything about that. I wasn't watching. I only started watching in like 2019, and I'm like, oh shit, dang, you a new fan. Like, and like, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, it's just crazy times, man. So I enjoy it.
Dude, they're keeping Sexy Red's career alive.
Hey,
man, they do.
They are keeping her career alive. I'm not knocking on it. I'm saying they're keeping her career alive.
You leave my girl alone, all right?
I'm giving her praise. I've come to your side on her. I think that it was horrible that she canceled her tour just because of whatever the reasoning is. But I am glad to see that she has adapted, and she is now, it seems like WWE has her do things for them.
They really like her. They really
why not?
Well, I mean, what's not to like?
Well, I think, you know what, bro, here's the thing about her, and I'll just leave it at this. Like, it's definitely like ratchet chaos with her, but I think like I think it's all a show. I think it's all a show.
Oh, yeah.
I think that when she's backstage at a fucking wrestling event or an NXT event, I bet she's the most coolest, most respectful person to the business, because they wouldn't put her out there that many times if she wasn't respectful to the business. They just wouldn't. And like, she did, like, something Sexy Red gets it. Like that, like, as far as the love of the game and how the game is supposed to be played, she gets it. And I love it. I love what she's doing. So
did you guys happen to see the post that Bob Backus put out, where a cousin of his put a picture of him side by side by Drake and said, tell me my cousin doesn't look like Drake? And Bob Backus, it looks like Drake if he had a long beard. I don't know if you guys
Oh
follow
hell,
him.
I didn't see that.
Oh Lord, no,
Yeah,
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see that.
It made
I
me
didn't see
laugh.
that. That's crazy work.
Shout out
That's funny.
Bacchus. Right.
But
I formerly managed him.
oh, I remember that. I do remember
Yeah.
that.
He's still in the
He did
game
manage
doing
him
his
for a
thing.
while. He's still doing it. Yeah, he's still going. But man, I gotta say, a lot of stuff going down tonight that I'm gonna be locked into. We got my man. He's over here playing what could potentially be the World Series. The Dodgers going up against the Mets tonight around 8:00.
It
Then
could
the Liberties
happen.
going up against the Lynx tonight, also around 8:00. A lot of awesome stuff. I'm gearing up for the Pacers to open their season this next week. That's going to be coming up. That's awesome. Happy to have NBA to watch again as the WNBA is going to be winding down after tonight. And we're still building up towards Crown Jewel. A lot of things moving towards Crown Jewel and ultimately Survivor Series. So I'm excited. A lot of awesome things moving, awesome times to come. I'm going to be spending my afternoon playing this new Mario Party with my family. It just came out this past Friday. Yeah, it's going to be badass, bro. We meant to play it last night, but bro, I was out around 8:00. I was tired, bro. So I knocked out, bro. So we're going to do it this afternoon. I'm excited for that and everything that I'll be checking out tonight and all my upcoming stuff that I got going on this week. And it's going to be great. I'm excited, but I want to talk about what my co-hosts have got coming up. I got to start here with my man, the voice, Josh Joseph. What have you got moving, bro, here in the next week and so on and so forth? Where can the household catch you?
All right, household. Week after week, I come on here. You know where to find me. I want to take my time because there's a show coming up on the Lose channel where I and the blue-eyed villain go against each other for the Lose championship, the Buddies title. And Grun,
okay,
I've been showing you a couple things here and there, and we've become close friends. But on that date, in front of the Buddies, I'm going to make a lesson out of you. I'm going to take your title, and I'm going to be the Buddies champion. And I'm going to be that for a while. So no matter how many times you think you come up and you can be that guy, you're never going to be that guy because you follow me. I let you know where you can go. So now that you have the title, it is coming home to me. And stay tuned. I will send links out to that when it goes live because the In Your House team of Howse and Jones, you guys got a match. You guys are going to be fighting.
yes,
I don't
we
even
do.
know what villain out of the horror genre you guys are fighting, but you guys are in a tag team match fighting them. So
let's bring it on.
could
Bring
be
it on.
Jason and
Bring it on. I don't
Freddy.
care who it is. We got him.
Who knows?
Absolutely. I
So,
got
yeah,
Got him.
join us on the Buddies Network when we do that. We will send some links. There'll be a fun chat going on at that time, and always Monday 7 p.m. and Fridays 7 p.m. where we go extreme. You can always catch us here doing our thing. It's real fun. It's a real fun time in what we do, man. I really, it really is. I just, Grun, you're gonna die.
We have a blast, man.
I'm gonna murder you.
That's gonna be great. Check
He's
it out
gonna murder him.
for the Buddies Championship. That's gonna be great. I'm excited for it, but I gotta pivot over to my man Hype Jones here, who's always got something moving. He's always a busy man. We love to see it. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, and we want to hear about all of them. So, what do you got, bro? Where can we catch what you're doing?
Yo, of course, you can catch me right here on the In Your House Network, whether I'm late to house parties or playing MLB 2K or whatever the fuck I'm doing, bro. You can always catch me here. This is my spot, bro. This is where to be. But you can also catch me on the Kokomo Press Network. Follow the Kokomo Press at Kokomo Press on Facebook, or at the Kokomo Press on Facebook, also the Kokomo Press on YouTube. Come out to our open mics every Thursday night at Cooper's Pub in Kokomo, Indiana. They start at 8 p.m. We have 15 slots, 5 minutes a piece for comedians if you want to try your hand at stand-up. But man, I'm still doing this comedy grind stuff. I'm still doing all the things I need to do for that. I have a show coming up this Friday. It is October 25th. It is going to be at Be Here Now in Muncie. That's 505 North Dill Street in Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah. So we're going to be at Be Here Now. It's the Kokomo Press Comedy presents the Halloween Howler. I will be hosting and bringing up comedians like Jordan Danger Granger, Brian Allen West, Alexa Eden, Patrick Murray, Kyle Roth, and Cole Peterson, bro. It's going to be a fun time. So if you're in the Indiana area, come check us out, bro. We put on a good show. And we also have a show on the 26th at Cooper's Pub. I won't be able to be there. But if you can, you should go check that out. That's the Kokomo Press presents the Monster Mashup at Cooper's Pub, where we have about 8 comedians that night, and then afterwards it's going to be just an all-out party. We're gonna have producer DJ Larry, the producer, on the 1s and 2s, bro. So wear your skimpiest outfits, get ready to drink and laugh. It's gonna be fun. My name's Epoxy Jones.
My man, Hype Jones, always busy, always doing something, like I said, and we love it. We love the fact that you got that motion going. As for me, you guys already know where I'm going to be at, right here doing my thing at the In Your House Network, making sure everything moves the way that it needs to move. And we've been doing that. We got some great shows that are coming to you guys this week, most definitely. Window Liquors, you guys already know, after Monday. You podcast listeners usually listen to it on a Tuesday after that, and we do appreciate you guys. We've got the Raw Deal with Howse and O'Neill on Wednesdays, and we have a great time doing that. Me and Annie have really developed a good chemistry since we got a chance to meet and work together at Emerge, and we're really just driving that home. Friday, you already know, ECW, the ECW Watch Along series, where we were watching ECW Hardcore Television. The last episode was absolutely crazy. We have got Bam Bam Bigelow throwing Spike Dudley into a crowd. That was insane. I mean, just everything that happened in that show was just pivotal. I needed to take a breath after that match for sure.
They crowd surfed his ass.
They crowd surfed Spike Dudley after Bam Bam Bigelow threw him into the crowd. It was the craziest thing. You are never, as awesome as 2024 wrestling is, you're never going to see that again in wrestling. You're just not. And it was absolutely amazing. So come check us out. ECW Watch Along series. It's been a great time watching ECW Hardcore TV, making me fall in love with the brand all over again. Grunmeister, you can go see what he's doing in his room, and that is Grun's room. He talks everything SmackDown, our great SmackDown correspondent. It is great. Then on Sundays, you already know, we get a lot of us together. We just talk and vibe wrestling. We got my man playing video games. It's a great vibe. Last week, it was Black Myth. Wukong. This week, it is MLB The Show. So we absolutely love it. And got to have that play when you work. And we work really hard here In Your House, because that's what we do, and that's work. And that's HOWSC, and that W, well, that stands for work. So guys, you already know the vibes. For Hypocrisy Jones, for the voice Josh Joseph, for the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, for the Grunmeister, for the world's most dangerous podcaster, I am Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day, a great rest of your week. Go Dodgers. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.